Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And you, Scorpio, are the magician. Okay, I feel like you're somebody who's highly intelligent. I feel like you understand things deeply. Okay, I feel as if maybe we have trouble interacting with other people right now. There's a situation where you kind of need to take a center stage role, right? Like the spotlight needs to be on you. And I feel like you're capable of doing it. You understand the work. You understand the reasoning for everything. You understand the inner workings of it. But I just think it's a matter of like flipping that switch and, kind of putting on the tuxedo and the top hat and getting out there on stage, as the magician and sort of performing, right? You're not one that really wants to perform for anybody. And so we tend to kind of rebel against a situation that's going to sort of ask us to perform. It's like, I feel that you like to just kind of do your thing on your own. And there's a little bit of that sort of rebellion in you, right? Let's put this card into a little bit of context. The magician is really the essence of the tarot, right? It's the central figure, the way I see it, because the tarot is all about spirit, all about the star, right? Teaching us, reminding us that we are the magician. Okay, so there's this question of authenticity, because the magician is all the different masks that we wear. Which one's the real me? And so even when we think we're being authentic, it's still another mask. We peel and peel and peel the masks off, kind of like that one thing in the Game of Thrones, right? Taking off mask after mask after mask, and we don't know which version is really the real us. Okay, I think what's underneath all the masks is the Sun card, right? Just our pure spirit. Here we have the 8 of Cups, 6 of Cups, an Ace of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords in this position is a really good thing. The way forward for you is between the bars of the birdcage and let yourself free. Let yourself fly, spread your wings, We have the universe here. That's the world outside the birdcage, right? We have a 5 of Cups, 4 of Cups, and 2 of Swords. There's a decision here for you, okay? I feel like your energy is shifting. I think that we're starting to realize that, yes, we are the magician, and if there's something in life right now that if we don't overcome this blockage, we're never going to get to the life we want. There's freedom on the other side of this task, this situation, right, where we have to sort of get out on stage and perform and turn it on and do the thing, and be the magician, right? And it may be a very kind of frightening thing. It may be something that it doesn't feel like this is something that I want to do. It's not something I'm willing to do. And to me, it feels like there's an anxiety over it. Okay, it feels like we are limiting ourselves by not doing this. No one's asking you to do anything that sort of violates your principles or your moral compass or anything ethical, right? I kind of feel like it's about you stepping up and it's kind of like turning on the magic, turning on the showmanship, or being confident in maybe it's like you're kind of, you've got to go and audition for something. If you really want to do it, if you really want to break out of the birdcage and get to the wide open universe and build your life and all this stuff, we have to sort of go and do it. We have to step up and go on that audition, Anyway, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Mr. Ed, the little horse, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Okay. Now, as we look around the room, we see two major arcana energies, the magician and the universe. The magician is the one that can cause change and conformity with will. The magician is the one who is mastering the art and science of manifestation. You are conducting the spiritual electrical circuit of creation through you, and you're creating your reality. You're creating yourself, and you're creating your reality. And we are all a magician at all times. Most of us have forgotten, okay? I feel like it's the same as like psychic abilities. I think we all have psychic abilities. Most of us, though, have forgotten. Most of us have tremendous imaginations, but we don't really use them all the time, okay? We all are the magician, but a lot of us have lost sight of that, or we've lost connection with that. So right now, your spirit, your soul, God, goddess, deity, guardian angel, spirit guides, whatever, is asking you, what is blocking you from getting out of the self-limiting birdcage we're in and getting the life you want? Is it fear? Is it anxiety? Is it sort of the fear of disappointment, the fear of humility, humiliation, I guess I should say, the fear of, sort of being a spectacle? Are we afraid of embarrassment? What is preventing us from stepping up and doing the thing that we really want to do, that we know is going to free us? Just doing this thing is going to free us. Just getting over this, like going out on stage and performing your song or whatever, right? That's going to free you from something. And of course, maybe it's not going to be a big deal. Maybe it's going to be just like a mediocre performance. That's okay. The act of doing it, the act of overcoming the blockage is what is freeing you. Okay? So there's something in your life right now that you know you kind of have to step up to the plate and do, but we're reluctant to do it. We're kind of looking at it as like a no-win situation. Like if I don't do it, I know it's going to be bad. If I do it, I don't know if I can push myself through to do it, right? Kind of like me with skydiving. I know if I did it, it would free me from something, right? But I don't want to do it. And I'm not going to ever do it. Never, never, never. Couldn't pay me to do it. Well, maybe you could. Depends on the price. But this feels like one of those situations. Okay? So Spirit's asking us, what is that kind of emotional blockage that's preventing us from really feeling that we are stepping into our power, that we're getting out of this birdcage, and we're creating the life that we want? See, outside the birdcage, you have this wide open universe. So this is you. This is really about the magician going out there into the world and being itself. Okay? Outside of the birdcage, it's kind of scary out here in the wide open universe. It's kind of cold and lonely out in space, right? And so we might be afraid of sort of being singled out. We might feel like we're doing this alone. And I think indeed something of this magnitude, it is alone. We are doing it alone. Maybe there are other people that could be with you to sort of help you, like to get through it. But nobody's having the experience that you're having right now. But we may console ourselves with some of this water energy. So anyway, two majors, no fire. Fire is what we need right now, right? We need to shift our energy from the cold elements. I'm getting goosebumps on my arm. I don't know if you could see them, because this feels cold in here. Where's the heat? Where's the excitement? Where's the passion? We've got water, 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 water. We've got some air cards. We've got some earth cards. It feels very cold in the reading. The only thing that feels intensely hot is this 10 of Swords, and this is the card of the birdcage. This is the card that says, I'm recognizing what's holding me back and I'm getting out of it. I can see finally the bars of the birdcage, And like any good bird cage, probably made out of aluminum or tin, and I can just bend the little wires and I can get out. It's not as hard as we think it is, but of course, to recognize it is difficult, and then to get the courage to do it, it's not physically difficult. It's kind of like just stepping out of the plane and pulling the ripcord, or letting the instructor pull the ripcord, or whatever, you know, if you're doing like a tandem jump. But it seems simple in theory. You identify the bars and you just push them aside. Maybe it takes a little bit of effort, but they're kind of flimsy. It's a lot more difficult in practice, but we know that outside of this, we spread our wings. Outside of this is where we are free. Okay, we're free to fall. We're free to be scared. We're free to be alone. We're free to fail. But we're also free to soar and succeed, you know. And that's sort of the responsibility, right? Because when we get out of the bird cage, then the magician's on their own. If we stay where we are, we have the comfort of just adapting to the situation that we're in. We've gotten really good at being where we are. But where we are is such a small portion of where we could be. But getting out of the bird cage involves risk. It involves accountability. It involves sort of owning it. Because then it's up to us. Then if we fail, we've got nothing to sort of blame it on, you know. Right now, if things don't go right, we say, well, it's just the situation that I'm in. You know, it's the things I can't control are you know, doing it. What we have in the reading, because there's only 2 major arcana cards, Spirit saying a lot of this is you. There's not a lot of forces outside of your control right now. It's kind of saying that you can control your energy, but we need to do that. Okay, we need to do that. The 6 of Cups, there's a family connection for you. I feel like you're holding on to a family, something going on with the family. There's I don't believe really in this necessarily, but like a family curse or a family trauma or something like that that we're sort of holding on to. And we might be using that as that might be part of the birdcage. Okay. I feel like we feel more comfortable when we are in the familiar place, like all human beings, every animal, right? They're sort of more comfortable when they're at home, more comfortable when we are in familiar circumstances. You know, I think we're more comfortable at home, even if home was very dysfunctional, even if home was kind of not very fun at times. Okay. Nevertheless, it still feels comfortable. It's kind of like an adult going back to the childhood home, and even though bad things happened, it still has this sense of familiarity. I think as human beings, we would rather stay in something that we know, even if it's bad, rather than go into something we don't know that could be good. We know what this is, but we know it's bad. We don't know what that is, but it could be good. See, there's a dilemma there. Okay. In the background, you have this Ace of Pentacles. I feel that this has been something that's been growing in you for a long time. I think you're finally getting out of this birdcage. Okay? I expect the mystery card to be some fire energy. I feel like this is you took the first step onto the path. Maybe this is like you stepped out on stage, and now the spotlight is on you, and you got the cold sweats, right? It's time to perform. It's time to do it. It's time to do the thing we came to do, and not let our fear, not let any of our emotional blockages get in the way. This is the 8 of Cups. It is a card of Saturn. There's a Saturnian energy. It's a heaviness. It's an anchor. It's a leaden kind of thing in your life. We need to let this go. We need to transmute this into fire, you know. Instead of the 8 of Cups, let's get an 8 of Wands, right? Let's get some heat and some warmth going in here. Maybe we need to move our body more, right? Maybe we need to, get outside, get into the warm sunshine and be infused. Let the divine light sort of crystallize within us, right? Because I feel that's sort of our responsibility. With the Magician card, we understand that it is our duty to transmit the divine light through our being. Okay? Because that divine light comes in, and if it's met with a lot of blockages, it doesn't ever get a chance to shine outwardly. It gets stuck inside of us somewhere by blockages of an emotional kind. Okay? In this case. And it's our duty to clear those blockages. And clearing the blockages means untying knots of karma, getting closure to things, closing wounds, seeing where our sore spots, our weak spots, our triggers, our buttons, all that stuff, the blockages, seeing where they are and starting to do that work. And once we start doing that work, that light starts to sort of shine out from us a little bit more. Okay, and our radiance begins to be felt by the world around us. And this becomes our ability to shift our persona in whatever way we need to in order to authentically and accurately and precisely transmit that light that is inside of us. We have to mold and shape our personality in order to be the correct lens for that divine light to be transmitted through us. Okay. But the Five of Swords up at the top here is a self-defeating attitude. It could be saying like, you know, I want love, I want connection, I want to feel good, I want pleasure, but I can't for whatever reason, right? Five of Swords is a self-defeating energy. We've already made the excuses that tell us we can't have it. And so we just accept the Eight of Cups as, well, this is my fate. I'm just doomed to live a life that's half full or half empty. Doesn't matter how you look at it, it's still just half. The Five of Swords is this negative internal dialogue that says, this is what I deserve. This is how I can't do it. I'm too tall. I'm too short. I'm too young. I'm too old. It's too late. It's too early, right? All these things. It's just not who I am. I don't have it in me. I'm not built that way. I'm not capable of that. All of these self-defeating things. What I want to do for that card is a Language of Flowers affirmation card. The Calla Lily, rejuvenation, reawaken, and then stand stronger. So reawakening, I think that's what's taking place in you now. Because the Five of Swords is at the top of the path of the dove, I feel like this is something you're very aware of now. You're seeing your thoughts objectively. Like you can hear yourself, talk to yourself. So I feel like we're waking up to this. We're thinking, okay, well, yeah, I really do hold myself back with the way I think about things or the things that are going through my mind. The way I'm speaking to myself is not productive, okay? So I think we're recognizing this, and then we're going to stand stronger. We're going to invoke that fire energy, okay? And I think that the magician is trying to call down the fire from heaven, right, in order to transmit that light out. So this is, in this case, kind of we have to receive the divine light, and then we can transmit it, okay? So I wonder if you feel that there's a blockage in your life right now, an emotional blockage, preventing you from receiving that infusion of divine light and power from your true self, from spirit. Yeah. Because that is the power that makes the bars of the birdcage seem like illusions, seem like just a mist, just smoke in front of you, and you can just go right forward. Okay? Outside of this birdcage is freedom. Now, you were in a hotel recently or something like that, and something happened with the coffee maker? Yeah. Outside of the birdcage is the wide open space. There's a little bit of agoraphobia kind of suggested in these cards. It's like the bird is not so much happy in the cage, but is comfortable. Has a melancholy song, but has food and water. And it's safe, protected from the cat or bigger birds. But outside the birdcage, we have freedom. Freedom to live our life, freedom to travel, explore, freedom to grow as big as we want. But there are cats out there and bigger birds. So it's the trade-off. Yeah, it's the trade-off. So over here in your general energy with the universe card, this is that sort of feeling like I'm I'm not happy in the birdcage, but at least it's familiar and safe and warm and comfortable. Out here, it's cold and lonely. Okay. But there's way more opportunities. There's limited opportunities in the birdcage. Outside the birdcage, infinite possibilities. To meet with other stars, to enter new star systems, to get into different constellations, different alignments, different clusters and groups of things, right? To just get involved with there's so much potential out here. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. So I feel like we're realizing now that better to take my chances out here in the wide, wide world than to stay in the birdcage and limit myself and keep trying to convince myself that this isn't for me. I'm not supposed to go that way. It's not. It's already too late. It's already too old. Whatever it is, because I don't think those words are working for you anymore. Yeah. In the position of the environment, we have a 5 of Cups. I think we're worried about disappointing someone. Okay, and this might have to do with a family thing. We kind of are. We're not wanting to go out and do a bad job at something. Okay, so in other words, we're reluctant to take the risk because we're worried that we may not really we may not succeed at it. So I don't want to go out on stage and sing my song because what if I mess up? What if I flub a line? What if I stutter? What if I cram words together like I sometimes do here in these readings? What if I drop my cards or something, right? What if I make a fool of myself? So this is kind of that card because it's in the position of your environment that we're worried about disappointing the others, the audience. Well, what do they say when you're trying to do something like that? Imagine everybody, in their birthday suit. Imagine everybody out in the audience is wearing a chicken outfit or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that important. The other people are not that significant. The audience and the way they receive you is not that crucial. What's crucial now is you start to find your confidence and find your motivation and realize, right? To see it again, like we're seeing it for the first time. To see something, to see that we're the magician and that we can change our reality. We can change ourselves, our personality. We can reconfigure our mask. We can reshape our persona, and we can change our personal reality. Okay? Your energy is shifting right now. And I think that we are not so worried about what other people think. We're trying not to be so sensitive to what other people, what their opinions are. We're not going to determine our own value based on how other people view us. Okay? Because it seems like maybe we're looking outside for people to love us, people to find us valuable, people to say we're good. And so rather than not get that, we're choosing not to do the thing, not to be ourselves, not to live our life fully. Because we don't want to get the opposite. We want people to tell us we're bad or we suck, because that affects our sense of self-worth. The obstacle is the Four of Cups. The obstacle is us just not giving a shit. Honestly, right? This is the card where no matter what emotional energy is being offered you, we don't take it. We don't receive it. We don't consume it. Okay? So this could be good or bad, right? See, this is the card of kind of being down in the storm shelter. And I'm not willing to go back up topside to see what the world is like. I'm scared. I don't want to do it yet. This is someone who's sailed their boat out of a storm, gotten into the safe harbor, and is just kind of hunkered down, saying, I don't want to go back out to sea because there's going to be storms. There'll be monsters out there, right? But this is also somebody who has fortified their heart, who is saying, if I'm out here in the sea and I get a storm, I'm not going to let that bother me. I'm not going to let that capsize my boat. Okay? I'm going to do my very, very best. This is kind of that energy that says, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to sing my song. If people boo me, I'm going to do it anyway. And it's not that easy. We all care what people think. I don't care what you say. We all do, to some degree. Okay? We sometimes can fortify ourselves enough to where we're not bothered so much, that it doesn't destroy us. It doesn't send us into a tailspin when somebody doesn't give us the love and affection that we wanted, that we needed. If people aren't receptive to what you're doing, that's okay. Okay. If you're the magician, you will connect with the right audience for you. Think of a magician on stage. They're performing all these magic tricks, but they're doing it in front of a bunch of buffalo, right? Buffalo are just going to go a different way. You have to know your audience, right? The magician isn't going to try to perform certain, it's like, a magician going to a children's party. You're not going to do these sophisticated illusions, for a bunch of kids. They want to see balloons and all this kind of stuff. So you have to be able to mold and shape yourself to know, to adapt to the situation that you're in. The problem with the magician card is that it's very, very adaptable. Sometimes too adaptable. We've adapted to something like an 8 of Cups, and that's bad. Because that makes us feel like, well, it could be worse, right? And to me, that's one of the, that's a very sort of low vibrational thing. Even just that phrase, like, well, it could be worse, or, let's just be thankful that it's not worse than it is, or to sort of compare ourselves to something else that may be worse. Because then not only are we feeling sort of negative about the situation we're in, but then we start to feel bad that we feel bad. It's like, I should just be happy. I should just be thankful that I have what I have. I should just count my blessings, right? Oh, gosh. So now not only am I unhappy with my life, but now I feel terrible that I'm even unhappy about my life. So we're getting hit twice. It sort of doubles the punch, okay? And I don't think we need to do that. I think that we need to say, hey, if I'm not happy with the way things are going in my life, I need to get the courage to change it. I can do something about it, right? And that's the 2 of Swords, the choice. We have the choice, okay? That choice has to be influenced by the little lunar crescent at the top there, the intuition. Because without the intuition, we're going to sit there in just a complex web of thoughts, and it's not going to lead to any kind of action. This is also a pair of scissors, right? We're cutting the cord on whatever is tying us up. We're freeing ourselves. This is the big sort of garden shears, and we're the bolt cutters. We're clipping through the bars of the bird cage through our choices. And we're choosing to do the thing that makes us kind of break out into a cold sweat. We're doing the thing that makes us nervous. And even if it fails, even if everybody boos us, I did it. We could walk off stage with a smile because hey, I overcame something and I did it. And now I can do it again. And I can do it again. And your wings are going to grow out from your shoulder blades, and they're going to span the sky. Okay? They're going to stretch from one edge of the universe to the other edge of the universe. And you're going to start to flap those wings. And there's no limit to how far you can take your life. But we have to overcome this coldness right now, this sort of the inertia, the heaviness. Right? It feels like a Saturnian heaviness right now. I want to look at the mystery card. Fire, right? Fire, fire, fire. The sun, the Eon card, Judgment, any of the fire cards, right? Even an 8 would be good. 7, any of them. Any warm, fiery cards right now. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. Oh, yeah. It's the best fire card. It is the best fire card. It is the 6 of Wands, Victory. So this is telling me that the win here, not so much about like you're really good at what you did and you're better than everybody else, right? We're not comparing ourselves to other people. We're comparing ourselves to who we were before. This is a victory over ourselves. Right now we're in a fight with ourselves. Our heart and mind are wrestling. This is a victory over that inertia. This is saying, I went out on stage, and right now it reminds me of Creed in The Office, when it's like, I don't know if it's New Year's or whatever, and his resolution was to do a perfect cartwheel. And he does a cartwheel that is terrible. I mean, it is the worst cartwheel ever, right? But he was so happy. He's like, I did it. I did it. I did a cartwheel. And he was just, you could see the happiness in his face. It was just such a funny episode. But that's kind of what this is. It's a victory over our own fear of not doing something. And we're probably going to do it poorly at first. We'll keep at it. We'll keep doing it. We'll spread our wings. We'll start flapping those wings and we'll start flying, yeah? But we can expect after years of not using our wings to suddenly leap out of the nest and be an expert, swooping and soaring and diving and all this stuff. No, it's going to take practice, okay? But this is that warmth that we need to start loosening up, start warming up our wings. Yeah, I like it. We're going to do an extended reading. I hope you'll stick around. There's going to be an I Ching hexagram. There's going to be some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down in the video description. New readings for Scorpio Wednesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.